Hello. Welcome to first episode of Couch Coaches for 2024. We are back, baby. How's it going, Richard, bro?
All aboard. Preseason's over. Warriors put on a couple of good performances. One against the 12-man Tigers, and only lost by 4 points with a C team. And then, clinical display against the Dolphins on the weekend. Oh, I'm excited. I kind of wish the Warriors were playing this weekend. And I'm excited about Vegas, but one year I think I'll have to make sure I get over there for this opening round if they're going to keep this Vegas thing up, because I don't know if you've been to Vegas before, but it's a hell of a good time. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I've been there before, mate. And just I'm saying, if you go to the Vegas games in the future, make sure you go to the games, mate. That's what I want to say to you right now. But so before we get into everything, let's just talk about what we've been doing in the past. So I'll kick it off because in the off season, I'll be honest with everyone here, I haven't had much time to prepare too much. Just because I became a father. Got a beautiful young boy, and name is Joash, and got his Warriors kit already. Everything he already sat down with me and watched the first preseason game. Made sure I took photos of that. Maybe we'll put that up at some point on our Facebook page, Instagram pages. But so being a dad, it's not easy, mate. You're a father yourself. It's not easy in the first few weeks, is it?
Nah, bro. I got two little ones now. They're 4 and 2, and the newborn days seemed like a long time ago. But it just all goes in phases. But I've had some amazing moments. Watching the Warriors, or the Wars as we call them, with my kids. We have our sort of tradition now that if it's a Friday afternoon, the 5 o'clock Friday games, we get the chips and dip out, and I have a beer, and they get their water bottles out, and you got plenty of exciting times to look forward to there, bro.
Oh, yeah, looking forward to it. It's one of the highlights I've been, when you think about what you're going to do with this, with your child. Me sitting with him, he's got his milk bottle in his hand. I've got my Jim Beam, and there, cheers, buddy, and going and watching the game together.
And I'm sure there'll be a few of those later games where he might not be able to sleep, and you'll be like, I'll take him for the team, and I'll go get him and bring him out into the lounge, turn the lights down low, and then give him his bottle and watch the Wars. Hopefully, bring it home in a late night thriller.
Exactly. Yeah, more than happy to do that. What about yourself? What have you been doing since we cut off the season last year?
Yeah, so me and the family we made the big move. So we moved from Wellington to Wanganui in end of November. So we've just been settling into life in Wanganui, really. At the moment, I don't really have any friends in Wanganui who support league. So if there's any listeners out there from Wanganui, just sneak into the DMs and let me know where's the place to watch the Warriors. But we've been busy, we're enjoying it, but just the off season seems to have flown by, and now all of a sudden, we've got actual proper rugby league to look forward to this weekend. Great to have some preseason games to watch. Not quite the same, but it was just really nice little build up, and there's a few, especially in the Warriors team, there's a few players that sort of caught my eye that I'm sure we'll touch on pretty soon.
Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, Warriors 2023. Had that amazing year, made the top 4, for the first time in a while. Not only did they did well on the field, off the field they were amazing as well. They blew the country away. Even other countries as well, and the support that rallied behind them was just amazing and is immense. And I'm pretty sure any other sport in this country at least will be jealous of what they've done in terms of team wise and marketing wise, etc., commercially wise and stuff. So good on the Warriors and stuff. And it's brought on a lot of people who are passionate about league to come out and do things as well. You shout out to Zane Matsumoto, for who does the Warriorholic, as he's known as. He started a Wellington Warriors group. I went to the first gathering there with a mate, and it was awesome. Dan Cole's dad was there. He was great. We'll get him on the show one time. He's keen to come on and talk as well. He's got a lot of knowledge there, so we'll probably get Dane on as well at some point.
I was going to say he's a Warriors sicko from way back, isn't he, Dane? So he'd be a great one to get on to have a chinwag with.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy to do that. Yeah, so we'll get that sorted at some point. But let's talk about NRL at the moment. Well, before we go into the Warriors, Vegas. You just touched on it before. Vegas. 4 teams going. The one thing, I haven't been following it too much, but one thing I just thought was interesting that caught my mind this week is when Jason Saab was doing an interview on American News. I don't know if you saw it, but he said, "Oh, we've bought
The four best teams.
Yeah, I was like, "What the heck are you talking about, man?" I was
Couldn't
like,
believe it.
Yeah, I was just like,
three of them
crap.
maybe you can make a case for, but like two of them didn't make the finals last year. Like Manly traditionally been a pretty good team, but haven't been great the last few years. I don't think they're getting much better this year. Like next episode we might do a quick little preview of each team, but yeah, I'm not that high on Manly this year. No, I had a wee laugh when I said that, but I mean, good on him. You know, he believes in his team, and he believes that Luke Brooks might be the man to sort of bring the glory back to Brookvale or 4 Pines Park as it's known these days. But yeah, it was interesting 4 teams. I thought. I mean, I think like the Broncos and Roosters in particular made a lot of sense. The Broncos were amazing last year. Penrith probably. I mean, they don't quite have the commercial probably appeal, do they? But yeah, Manly, it's sort of I did laugh at there was something like a meme or something I saw on social media, and it was talking about how Manly had strategically got out of Sydney for Pride Week, so maybe there's some back office sort of NRL politics going on there with trying to avoid another PR disaster. But going to Vegas probably not the way to avoid a PR disaster for the NRL. Although there's been no headlines so far, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I was like you. I had a laugh. I mean, yeah, good on him. But like you can fool like Jason Saab. You can fool the American broadcasters over there. You can fool those commentators. You can't fool the people over here. That is the most stupidest comment I heard. But yeah, bit of laugh. And I guess he's just trying to promote the game. You know what I mean? He's just trying to promote the game. So I guess that's what he was doing. But still, I mean, I didn't read the comments or anything, but a lot of people probably wouldn't have agreed with that at all. But
yeah, I'm sure if anyone looked at the table from last year, they'd be like, "What? What does make sense?"
No, exactly. Well, one thing that we didn't do last year, we were going to, but just out of circumstances, couldn't do it. The Kiwis in their Pacific tournament lost the first game to Australia, but in the final blew them off the park, 30-0. Like never had that kind of scoreline before, and they were amazing, led by James Fisher-Harris. I mean, amazing. I just thought like they were. I wish that was a World Cup. I wish that was a World Cup. That's what I'm going to say right now. But yeah, what do you think? What were your thoughts on that game?
Oh, just I don't think we're ever going to see that again in our lifetime. It feels like we've sort of stuck a few wins from the Aussies in the past. We had a bit of a good sort of patch maybe between sort of about I feel like 2012 to sort of 2015 maybe, and there was a few games in a row that we got a few wins over them, but nothing like 30-0. That clinical. We just absolutely, and it was a good Kangaroos team, like it wasn't like they were missed. There was probably, I don't think, Cleary not playing maybe, but apart from sort of him and maybe one other player, like it was a pretty much full strength Australian team, Kangaroos team from memory. So, it was great to see, and there was a couple of guys that really sort of stood out in the Kiwis. Matt Tomoko, I thought he was amazing at centre.
He's awesome.
Really I think in the game against, I think it was the game against Samoa, he had a great game, and then in that final he was huge, scored a try. Mulatalo was huge. Fisher Harris, you mentioned him, led the pack. I think he ended up being winning the Golden Boot. Is that the International Player of the Year?
I think so.
So huge season for him. To sort of lead that Penrith pack and then to lead the Kiwis like that. So. How long does he have left on his contract? Do we know? Is he?
Not
surely
sure,
the Warriors could get him. It seems like everyone's getting out of their contracts early these days. We might be in need of a front row. Front row next year. So
yeah, does a contract count in the NRL these days? I mean, what are they? They're just pieces of paper, basically. Because like no matter what, you can get out of it somehow. I mean, if anyone knows how they do this, Adam Noah-Blake. So sad that he's going, but like if he's got his genuine reasons, fair enough. But leaves a big hole in there, but we'll talk about that soon. But it leaves a big hole. But going back to the Kiwis, I'm just trying to find the player who I'm talking about because for some reason he's had a mind blocking. Oh, here we go, Leo Thompson. I thought he was the man. But I want to throw this out there, and this is just probably people are going to probably look at me and say, "What a stupid thing to say." But did you ever see the Man of Steel, Superman? in that movie?
Nah.
No, there's a guy, the General Zorg, whatever. I can't remember his name. He looks exactly like him. I know, that's what I'm saying. People are gonna look at me and think, what a stupid thing to say.
When you said
But
Man of
every
Steel,
time,
I thought isn't it the name of like the Super League Player of the Year? Isn't it Man of Steel?
oh yeah,
It's some sort
it
of.
is too.
You really threw me off there.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Superman movie. Where the General, I think it's Zorg. I think it is. Yeah, and I just like with the hair and everything and the little goatee and stuff. I was like, wait a minute, is that Leo Thompson? But yeah. Anyway, moving on because I'm making myself look stupid right now. Yeah, no, I thought they were awesome, the Kiwis and stuff, and it's a good thing of Kiwi. It just shows what rugby league in New Zealand is doing. We're producing so much talent and stuff, and not just we're producing talent, we're producing talent people who are talented, who are also have got the mindset, the confidence to do well as well. And then they're not feared by they're not fearing of the Australians, like kind of like how the Black Caps are kind of with the Australian cricket team. They seem to have this get spooked by them.
Yeah, they're just the Australian cricket team are just living in the Black Caps head at the moment. Could be a long 5 days at the Basin Reserve coming up for you, John. So.
Yeah, well, I wish I could go to all of them, but yeah, nah. At the moment, it's not happening. But yeah, so good win for the Kiwis and stuff, and that was pretty much the end of rugby league for 2023. But coming into now, preseason Warriors. Okay, so should we talk about the Warriors right now? What did you think about the preseason games that you got to see?
I liked what I saw. The game. I mean, they sold out the stadium in Christchurch. I know it's not a huge stadium, but it'd still be 15,000, 16,000, I imagine. Selling that out for a preseason game seems in Christchurch is pretty. Like, I think that just sort of speaks to sort of the mood of the country at the moment. Playing against a near full strength Tigers team. You look to the Tigers team that they threw out there. I mean, all their big guns were there basically, and we threw out a B team. Gave a couple of young guys a run, and they were fantastic. And then that game against the Dolphins was a pretty clinical performance. It was an entertaining game. Good to see some guys get a run at the end there. I think we sort of controlled the game the whole time. Awesome to see Capewell. He sort of. We probably haven't talked since his signing, have we? When it was announced that Curran was leaving, I know that me and you both big Curran fans. He just sort of epitomised a lot that was the Warriors, especially in some of those tough years over lockdown. Like he was always go down and give 100%. And when it came out that Curran was leaving, I was pretty gutted, And then Kate Bell signing was sort of rumoured, and then it was confirmed pretty quickly after that, and it was like, oh, so that's why. That was sort of it made sense, and you've seen him in the Warriors jersey, and on both sides of the ball. I think he offers so much on attack. I think one of the first sets of the game he put a little chip through. He's got a great offload game. He's obviously played a lot in the centres, so can be like another cover out there. But
I totally agree. I totally agree with what you're saying, and for me, Capewell is just like he's going to be an important, vital cog in the team because not only is he experienced and just good on defense and attack, but he's just I just think that it just boosts our pack, which is pretty strong in the first place. And I've always been wondering how we're gonna shift our pack around and stuff. But I think our pack looks pretty stacked, and our forward pack looks pretty stacked, and I just think I was always wondering whether for a player that comes over to play in New Zealand for the Warriors, does it deter their chances of playing Origin? Because he's an Origin player, and do you think that the selectors will look differently upon him now that he's in the Warriors? But now that the Warriors, they know that they're a hot team, do you think that they'll look at it a little bit differently?
No, I don't think there's too much concern there. We've seen the likes of sort of. Who's played Origin? Who's the last Warrior played Origin? Lillyman?
Probably Lillyman, or Brent Tate before him.
Nielsen, when he was at the Warriors, wasn't really playing Origin, was he? He played a few games when he was at the Storm, I think. But it never sort of was detrimental to his game. But I mean, the Warriors are hot property. The Aussie, I don't know if you've been following much of the sort of. Just seen a few little chats from sort of likes of Bloke in the Bar, and there was another clip I saw of I can't remember what it was, but yeah, the Aussies are hot on the Warriors, and
Yeah,
after watching this preseason, they said, we weren't sure where they were sitting, or I'm not sure whether I'm going to put them in my 8 and all that sort of stuff. But now everyone's sort of thinking, no, they're in the 8, they're right up there,
yeah,
We sort of talked to the end of last season about where we had the Warriors finishing. I think you had the top 4. I had sort of finishing outside the top 4, and I'm still just like, I don't know where I'm sitting there, because I still think that until we beat some of these better teams, the likes of,
yeah,
the Roosters, the Rabbitohs, the Penrith, the Storm, we obviously can beat the likes of the Knights, the Sharks,
yeah,
these Raiders, these sort of teams that were in that sort of 5 to 9, 10 Manly range. So, yeah, as soon as we can start beating those teams, I'm
yeah,
confident saying we'll be in the 4. But for now, I might still be sitting outside the top 4, maybe 5th or 6th. But I liked what I saw a lot, and I mean, we haven't really even touched on too much of shit yet, but how good was it to see him again?
Oh, brilliant. And I mean, it's really interesting to, I don't know if you saw this in the media this week, is that he said that he's still finding the transition hard. And I understand that. I understand. Well, I'm not an NRL player, but I mean, the amount of work you have to do in league compared to union is quite, it's quite heavy. And not only that, you're having to do a lot, to cover the forwards on the end of a play, you have to take a lot of runs, a lot of hit ups. You have to do that in league. So, it's finding the transition hard, but I thought he did pretty well, really well. But going on what you were saying with the Warriors, I still think they're top. I think they're a top 2. And this is not me being biased. Last year, I was so impressed with the Warriors, but like you were saying, when they went against the top teams like the Storm, even the Roosters and stuff, blah blah blah, I would always be nervous, if that's the way to put it. I'd always be nervous because I just knew that, psychologically maybe they're not there and stuff, and they weren't doing it. But for some reason, I don't know what it is, and because preseason only just finished up. I reckon the Warriors are a bit different psychologically this year. I think that you can just feel it. I don't know how to explain it because it's just a feeling, but you can sense that they are a lot stronger mentally. Like they know they want to win it, and they know they can win it. So they're not like they're not going in with it thinking like we'll give it our best shot. They're going in there thinking nah, that's not good enough. We're going to win it. And I think that this year, for some reason, they're just stronger in that area, and they've always had the talent. We all know that, but I just think psychologically, in their mindset, they're just a lot stronger. And I don't know if you all out there agree with me, but I can sense it. And I'm more than happy to say they'll be in the top 4. I said top 2, but I'll just to cover my ass, I'll just say top 4. But I reckon definitely top 4 Warriors, and I think that this year, dare I say it, because I don't like saying it normally, but this could be our year. This could be our year.
You heard it here. I was going to say you heard it here first, but I'm confident I've already heard it being said about 20 times in other other areas of everyday life. But I mean, the country's high on them, the Aussies are high on them. I think, as you said, they're high on themselves. They believe. They've got a great system. They've got the teams in all the different grades this year. All the juniors. So they're really they're going all in. So it'll be great to see what they can do. Starting next weekend at Mount Smart against the Sharks, which they won I don't know if you saw, they won the moment of the year at the Halbergs for the comeback against the Sharks. The game where we were 22-0 down or something like that, and we came back and won it. One of the great Warriors comeback, probably the greatest Warriors comeback of all time, actually. So it just shows you, that was a fan voted thing. So there was All Black moments in there. There was some good Black Cap moments, but they took that one out. So it just shows you how high the country is on them, and if they can keep riding that wave. I mean, what about the jersey? The heritage jersey that sold out in 8 minutes or something like that. I mean, it was a great jersey, don't get me wrong, but like the fact that, it sold out in 8 minutes, and it came out on Valentine's Day. It's great marketing from them. So I'm sure there would have been a lot of fellas who, got picked out one of them from the missus for Valentine's Days, or from the mister. We're not judging around here. But great, buddy. Oh, I'm excited for the season. Was anyone else that stood out for you in the trial games? Was sort of touched on sort of like Capewell and RTS were the two that I was really liked. I thought Tane Tuapuki was really good as well, so it'd be cool. Hopefully he gets a couple of games while chances out in the number 1 jersey, because I think I'd rather see Rog, if they're going to have Roger in the centre jersey, I'd rather them just go from it from the start and so he can find his feet there, because as you alluded to, he's still finding his feet. But yeah, was there anyone else that stood out for you?
Well, it wasn't so much because when I was looking at the preseason, I wasn't trying to focus on individuals. I was trying to figure. This might sound contradictory, but I was trying to figure out who my top team would be, like the starting team, and who would you have in and stuff. Because you got the likes of Jackson Ford, for example. Munira Sauce is a man crush from the Warriors Anonymous. So just wanted everyone to know that. But we'll let them know. We might put it into a reel to let everyone know. He told me he actually had another man crush, but he told us first, Jackson Ford. Anyway, he started every game last season, did a good job. But I feel that there are just some players that are probably above him that could probably sort of push him out at least to the bench. And so I was more focused on who's going to be starting where. And like, for example, having Murata, I reckon Murata, playing in prop. Do you reckon that's where they're looking to go forward with him in the future, especially with Fanua Blake, leaving after this year?
Yeah, they definitely alluded to it in that game, didn't they? He played a lot in the middle. I mean, he's a big guy as it is. I mean, his utility factor is pretty good, if they're going to be using him there as well, because it means he can cover. I mean, he's played a lot of centre, hasn't he? He played for centre for the Kiwis, I think, in the World Cup years ago. So he's obviously, I mean, I feel like he's more of a bit more of a, like he doesn't quite have maybe that kind of hit him up style that you need of a front rower, but I mean he's got a season to work on it, and they're obviously trialing it. We do obviously have Bunty's still there. We've got the likes of sort of Tom Ale. It looks like there's a couple of young guys in the squad. I can't remember the names though, but there's a couple of young guys in the squad, front rowers, who looks like they could be real good, sort of, in a couple of years' time. But as far as the salary cap goes, it could save us some money. Obviously, Hamlin ULA, there was a lot of talk that he might come, but he's said no, he's staying at Cronulla, which I don't mind. Like, I think he's an all right player, but I think it looked like we were going to be paying him massive overs for what he's worth. And if we can reuse someone like Murata, because Barnett's, do you know how long Barnett's around for? How many?
I can't remember, but I'm agreeing with you. I think they were just offering too much money, and it wasn't a like for like, with swap with Fanua Blake. No. And if you're going to pay that kind of amount of money, I'd rather go for someone like Joseph Tapine or something. See, you bring him home, like having Joseph. Imagine having Joseph, a real superstar. Yeah, paying him out that amount of money. What was it, 2 point something million? And I'd rather have someone like Joseph Tapine on the books rather than I just forgot his name. No disrespect to him. He's a good player, but I just think, as far as a like for like, he just sort of, I think you want to have that kind of just absolute workhorse. Your Fanua Blakes, your Tapines, your Payne Haas's, they're probably the three that come to mind when you think of quality front row forwards in the game. So he's off to Fanua Blake he's off the Dragons, is that right? No, the Sharks.
Sharks.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be partnering him. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was a like for like swap sort of thing. But I just think, if you're going to spend that amount of money, I think you're worth trying to go for someone like Joseph Tapine and bring him back into New Zealand. Or, I mean, I don't know if even Fisher Harris or Moses Leota, because they got they've got the Kiwi sort of links there, and they would have known Webster and from his Penrith days. So I think that's what helped bring Capewell over. Because of his sort of the Penrith links. Yeah, so I think that's what they would have done a big job, because there's those photo that circulated when Kate was having dinner with Andrew Webster in Auckland CBD. Probably not the best thing to do, Webby, to go have a dinner right in the window of the restaurant where everyone can see you, where pretty much every person that walks, around is a Wars fan. So yeah, probably not the best idea. I think you'll learn from that. But
it's all part of the marketing, get the fans on board and then show them, be like, look, this is what the fans are saying, and we want you here. So
good point. Well,
yeah,
they're doing a good job. I mean, I don't think they're stuck for money or anything because of what they're doing with ticket sales and merchandise and stuff. I think they're always sold out of everything. Took me a while to get kit for my boy. Doing
something right.
Yeah, he's got the latest jersey. I don't. Far out. But that's all right. I actually prefer the straight V instead of the curled one. I actually prefer the straight V.
We talked about that last year. I think I feel like there was a discussion. Yeah, if I'm going to get a jersey, I might look at getting one of those heritage jerseys. I thought that was a pretty cool jersey. I do have like the OG and the blue green though. So I've been a fan since way back. I'm not one of these bandwagons like all these all these new. I'm the conductor, but I'm not. Not on that. I'm not on the bandwagon. I'm driving it.
You're just guiding them. They need guidance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're guiding the bandwagoners.
The correct etiquette.
Yeah, exactly. You're telling them how it's supposed to be because they need to learn. Otherwise, they're going to embarrass themselves. Like by some of those bandwagoners that go on social media on those Warriors pages that ask the most, dumbass questions and stuff and say the most stupidest things. It's like, mate, have you watched a game of League in your life? So it's no, you need someone with guidance, and that's where the bandwagon conductor comes in. So all good. But yeah,
we had some a few fan questions come through. I just threw some stuff up on social media, and one of them was actually from your mate Zane saying, so I'll just see if I can find it. I think it was basically just saying, what's your starting 17? You're 17, and he alluded to the fact that 1 to 17s, 1 to 13s probably. I don't think there's going to be too much disagreement there, but it's the bench is the big question. So, are you in a position to go through your team real quickly?
Let's do it. Let me just open up. The Warriors team page. I should have had this done earlier. My bad. Obviously, we're
going on the fly here, team. So
yeah. Normally we're better prepared, but we're on the fly
the question
today.
was from Zane Matsumoto, who is the Warrior
Holic.
Yeah. Who's your starting 17?
Good guy.
Reckon the 13 picks itself, but the bench ? So, with Nickel Clock steered out, Tuapiki is my number 1.
Yep.
DWZ Montoya on the wings.
I would have Montoya and Dallin, Zalesniak. I would have them both on the wings. I'll definitely have the wings. I didn't see much of Kossi. So I'm not sure.
Did he
play?
No, I don't know if he played. No. Maybe he's injured or something.
I think so because I don't think it's saw him there. But those will be my wingers.
He's still in the squad though. I'm pretty sure. So
yeah. It's for me though the big one in the back line, the two positions is obviously center and for me is standoff. So I think honestly Roger's going to be picked. I mean I don't think anyone will disagree there, but the other center pairing is either Pompey or Rockberry, and it's a hard one because again Pompey played all games where we had so much faith in them. They've I think they've re-signed him as well. So, but I would probably lean towards Rockberry, in my opinion. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think we had this conversation last year. You went with Berry, I went with Pompey. I think the fact that Berry started last week makes me feel like it will be Berry. But there's also that young Ali Liatuia, I think it is. Sorry, apologies for the pronunciation there. I've got to get better at that. But he won't be starting this week, I think. But he's definitely one to look out for. He's powerful ball runner. Scored a good, powerful try at the end of that trial game against the Dolphins. And he got a run last year, and I thought he was really great. Really impressive. So one to look out for. But yeah, I think I'll go with Berry because I think the fact he started last week, Pompey's obviously probably just on the outer slightly there. So
Yeah.
6, obviously you got a couple of good options. Metcalf and Tamari Martin were both great last year. Harris Tavita's back. I mean, he's probably more of a 7, but he could cover 6 if he needed to. I just feel like the jersey was Metcalf's last year before he got injured, and I think that we will go with him.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. 6 Metcalfs, Johnson at 7. That's a no-brainer. Johnson. I think that where Webby's like we're talking about, like the bench is going to be the hard one, the 14 to 17. I think Dylan Walker will still hold a spot, but it's whether you put Harris Tavita there or Jazz. I mean, I saw a lot of comments talking about Jazz, and his performance was quite underwhelming. I mean, I don't like saying that word. I really don't like saying that word or saying that about someone, but it's just like I'm just repeating the comments here. People were saying that, and yeah, I don't know if he would be used because like normally they have someone that could play hooker as well. And we all know that the reserve hooker in the team is Lussick. So, but I think if you've got Dylan Walker or Harris Tavita that can do that as well, they'll probably slot in there because Harris Tavita could probably play a forward as well, play a forwards role as well. So can Dylan Walker. So I think they're quite blessed in that area. So we'll leave that for those reserves for now. But going back to the forward pack, because we've settled on the back line and the halves. What about your forward pack? We'll start with the front row.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely going to be too much arguing here for Noah Blake, Egan, and Barnett.
Yep, agree.
Second row will be Newark, Ford, and Capewell, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Tohu at 13. And I mean, it's obviously like they're probably that they might start Nuakura over Ford, but I think if they're going to use Nuakura as an extra sort of cover for the middle, he could be a very handy player to have on the bench because he offers the centre cover as well.
I personally think that I reckon, and this is a big call here, but even though I like Jackson Ford, I think they'll go Capewell in Nuakura in the middle row and Tohu Harris at 13. And I think that's my forward pack. That's my forward pack is Fanua Blake, Wade Egan, Barnett front row, Nuakura, Capewell second row, Tohu Harris at the back there. That's my front row there. So so the difference between us is that you got Jackson Ford in your lineup, don't you? And Nuakura coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Yep. So what about your bench? Your 14 to 17.
I think they're going to go for Lussick. I think they seem to go with him. Towards the end of last year, he was in that squad. They sort of used him well, rotated well. Egan, love Egan, but he's a bloody walking head knock. So look, have Lussick there, and then it does get a bit difficult. Love Jazz, but I think I'm gonna start Walker over him. I'm going to put Bunty in Nuakura in there, so Bunty and Nuakura can cover the middle, and Dylan Walker can as well, and then Nuakura covers the second row and centre. Walker can obviously cover basically any position you need him to, and then Lussick. I mean, it is quite dangerous just going for a straight hooker on the bench, but they seemed to do it a lot towards the end of last year, and that combination was working. So I think they'll stick with it.
Yep. Well, I'm going to go this way. Dylan Walker, yes, I agree. I reckon they'll pick Ali over Bunty, Tom Ali, just from his form in the preseason.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think they'll go there. So I think Tom Ali, Dylan Walker. I can't help but feel that they will go Harris Tavita over Lussick, just because he could probably play hooker and add a bit more in terms of playing a forward or a back and cover those areas, just like Dylan Brown can. And the extra forward, whether it be a prop or it's the hard one, maybe Jackson Ford. or would they go with the back? Because you got Tamara Martin there as well. You know, they could play, but probably go with the forward, to be honest. Because Dylan Walker and Harris DeVita can cover the back. So yeah, that'll be my bench. Harris DeVita, Dylan Walker, Tom Ale, and Jackson Ford. That's my bench.
Nice.
I reckon we
We'll
should.
find out. We'll find out next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Whether either of us is correct or even close to being correct.
Well, we'll put it down. We'll put it down on our socials, and we'll see what Zane has to say as well, and and see if we can compare. But see who's right. But I mean, either way, either side that we've picked is quite good. You know, and that's a good thing about the Warriors now. There's depth, and that depth is just going to continue to grow when you've got like the SG ball teams now, Harold Matthews, Jersey Flag and stuff like that. So I just think that the Warriors are in a good position, in probably the best position in their history, to be honest, because with the amount of teams they've got, but also by supporter base, fan base, and financially, I think they're just in a good place. I think they're in a good place overall, and they're probably thinking this is the perfect position we could be in, and perfect position we can be in on all fronts, because like people, we like watching the games, but there's more to it. There's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes to make the team work, and things like that. So yeah, I just think that the Warriors are in a good place. It's really good to know. But yeah, we'll put down our starting lineups, and we'll see what everyone else has to say. And if they agree or they disagree, it's all good. It's just all part of the chat.
We had another sort of fan question here. Does the integrity unit create admin efficiencies by setting up an office on the Vegas Strip? So are we expecting any trouble in Vegas? There's been a lot of sort of murmur about it. I think the teams have been over for about a week, and it looks like they're having a good time. They've been meeting all sorts of famous people and playing at the stadium where the Super Bowl was. But
yeah,
if anyone's going to get in trouble of those four teams, any one player you can think comes to your mind, who's it going to be?
In Vegas, I don't know. So you got Roosters, Manly, Brisbane. Oh, Reece Walsh.
Really Reece
Walsh. Reece Walsh. Yeah, I was going to say Bronco. Oh yeah, Reece Walsh. I mean, you never know. I mean, Adam Reynolds and what's his name?
Kerrigan.
They could get into another fight. They could, just being in Vegas, they could accidentally just go watch a UFC fight or something, or a boxing gig, and then what, we can do this better, and just show. Who knows?
The funny thing about watching that video of Reynolds and Kerrigan, you must imagine the amount of times that's happened with NRL teams over the years. When when Southlands went around, the teams just sort of dealt with it. The players would be like, piss off, stop being a dick. Yeah. Players will walk away. But as soon as there's Southlands involved, it all blows up, and then they obviously came and faced the media pretty quickly about it, and then the club was just like, well, we're not punishing you. You guys, it was just a bit of push and shove. I mean, it's not a great look, but also who's there filming it? So. Reece Walsh was also the player that I had thinking of. So
the funny thing is, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just going through the teams: Manly, Roosters, Broncos. Oh, Reece Walsh. It's just like Reece Walsh. But it's the one thing that being being in the industry, working in there, is my concern is always if something bad goes down on video, because when you become a professional athlete, you're in the public's eye 24/7 pretty much. Yep. And no matter what you do, even if you're just trying to have a good just go out on a date with your missus or something, or just just going for a walk on the on the waterfront or something, I don't know, people are going to get their phones out and they're going to say, oh look who I saw. So that's
can't go after no more.
Yeah, that's what happens. But
I was going to say, we've got a new segment. On the podcast. We're starting up. It's called Start, Bench, Drop. So each week I'm going to ask you to name 3 players, and you just have to decide to start one, bench one, and drop one from a team. And we'll mix it up every week. But I'm going to start at a pretty high level this week. Right. And we're going to go start, bench, drop. Sean Johnson, Nathan Cleary, and Nico Hines.
Oh, far out. Are you serious? Far out. Okay, I'm gonna tell you who I dropped. Nico Hines. Great player. Don't know the person, but he seems like a great bloke. But I think,
Fabio Fulham.
yeah, exactly. The Fabio, the whole, horse, riding on the back of a horse, shirtless. Sorry, yeah. So that's Nico. But no, I'll drop Nico Hines. And I mean, I love Sean Johnson. I think he's amazing, and I think he deserves to be up there. I believe he deserved to win the Dally M. He was robbed. I think most people will believe that. Even Aussies believe that. But I'll probably have to go with Cleary starting and bench Sean Johnson. That would be me.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Cleary is just like, I was at that grand final last year, and I'd had a few VBs and all sorts of whatever by this stage of the night. But yeah, just that 20 minutes of footy was just unbelievable. Johnson's in great form at the moment, so give him that bench spot. And then Nico Hines, good player, but showed in Origin, maybe he doesn't have the ability to come off the bench and be the impact player as such. So cool. So we'll keep that up. If anyone's got any ideas for start bench drop, send them through. We want to get it. I want to get a bit funky on it some weeks. So
yeah, fair enough.
And this season, 2024, we're also doing SuperCoach. So anyone who's got a team established and wants to get involved, jump on in. The code for our league, it's just the open league, so it's not a head-to-head. If we get a bit of interest, maybe we'll start a head-to-head league, but I think we'll just keep it open at the moment. The code is 732270. That's 732270. At the moment, we've got that's open till round 2 to enter. We're going to try organise some prizes, but at the moment we don't really know what those prizes will look like. It might be a sweet coaches, couch coaches, whatever we're called, mug, maybe some t-shirts or something. So and then if there's anyone out there who wants to sponsor us, get in touch, because we'll be happy to take some good goods off your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you made your team yet, John?
No, not yet, mate. Just been trying to find some time in between nappy changing and bottle feeding, but it's I will get onto that soon, probably over the weekend. But going on what you're saying. We started this last year, just for everyone who's listening out there who hasn't heard us before. We started this towards the end of last year. Rich and I were working together. We both work in media and comms and stuff, and we thought we both love league, and we decided to do this. And this year we're doing it, going again full season. We're not bandwagoners, even though Richard is the bandwagon conductor, as we said before, just guiding the bandwagoners. But one thing is before we wrap it up is we want to talk about, like, last year when we did this. So we did it towards the end of last year, as I just said. We were a bit premature, a bit too overeager into looking a name, and that's probably my fault. But couch coaches we thought that was a great name, but then when you Google couch coaches, there's about 50 other couch coaches podcasts out there from a variety of sports. So we're looking to change that name. But if you've got any ideas, give us some ideas, because we need some creativity right now for the names, don't we?
We do. Yeah. At the moment we're sort of just, it's not a bad name, but as you said, there's a few other couch coaches around there. So unless we get like tens of thousands of listeners, and then now the algorithm pops our one up to the top of the couch coaches podcasts on various podcast platforms, it might be a bit difficult. So if anyone's got any ideas of a good NRL Warriors related podcast name, send them through. Once again, we if you get if we choose your name, then you might get a t-shirt with our faces on it or something. So if you're lucky.
Exactly. Well,
quick tip for this weekend, John. What are the games? Who's playing when? Seagulls, Rabbits. I'm going to go Rabbits 13+.
Yeah. I'll go Rabbits 1-12.
And Roosters, Broncos.
Broncos 1-12.
I think the Roosters might take that one.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Interesting.
Yeah. I think the Roosters could do it right this year. I think next week we'll do our predicted 8s next week, shall we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll do that next week. Yeah,
So we'll see where we're putting teams. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be great. Good way to spend Sunday afternoon/evening. Quite family friendly times. Hopefully the kids are asleep by 7:30, so I can catch the full game 2 and watch half of game 1, and I'll be a happy man. So
yeah, awesome. So yeah, well, thanks everyone for listening in. We know we were we were pretty pleased that last year, knowing that we started this, just basically on nothing, and we had quite a few views on our episodes. But we were pretty happy with the outcome. So we're looking to do it, go a lot better this year. So if you're listening out there, or you're a regular listener, just help us out by spreading the word and getting people to subscribe and stuff. And yeah, no, we've got a lot to talk about. This one was like, just a little bit off on the fly, but as the coming weeks come along, we'll have more segments to talk about, more segments to put on, more things to talk about. We'll have some guests as well, and yeah, we're just gonna have a great year, and because it's our year. So,
you heard it.
So thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Right. Catch you later, everybody.
Choo, 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 choo.